What's up guys, 25 Ultra Gamer here, and today is a special video for Sonic the Hedgehog. That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog is well known for his video game franchise and transitioning to television, comics, and even a 2020 feature film. Throughout his timeline, the cast ensemble has been introduced through either in the video games, television, or the comics. Sonic has been my legacy for over a decade, and being the Sonic fan I am, I'm going to be giving the top 70 characters you've probably never heard of. If you're a Sonic fan like me, you'll probably know most of these characters, but if you're not and were curious about knowing all these characters, then stick around and enjoy listening to all the characters' bio and maybe even a little backstory about them. Anyway, let's get this started. Let's start off the roster with the Freedom Fighters. Let's start off with Sally Acorn. Sally Acorn is a character from the Sonic the Hedgehog television show, also known as Saban, as well as one of the protagonists in the Archie Sonic Comics series. She is a Mobian chipmunk, the daughter of King Acorn, and a leader of the Freedom Fighters. She takes serious precautions to what is beyond the limits of danger throughout the Eggman Empire. She is a friend and former love struck of Sonic the Hedgehog. She was also roboticized into Mecha Sally in the pre-Super Genesis Wave timeline in the Archie series. Lastly, what's best known for her is her bravery, intelligence, and protecting everybody from Eggman's threats. Next up, we have Rotor the Walrus. Rotor is a team member of the Freedom Fighters and usually comes up with new inventions to use them as an advantage to destroy Batniks more easily. Tracing back to his origins, he originally lived in an icy village and started to come up with ideas that could take what was original and make something new out of it. His father got furious and displeased with his new inventions and didn't really like his son as a result. Rotor was forced to move away and ended up in Knothole Village, wherein he made new friends and eventually took his ideas and put them into action. Next up, we have Bunny Diglett. Bunny is another soul member of the Freedom Fighters who speaks in a Southern Australian accent and is a half roboticized bunny. What caused her to get a roboticization is when she was captured by Eggman in order to turn her into a robot to use it for his army. She barely escapes out of the Eggman Empire with her left arm and two legs roboticized. She also had complaints about pain of her robot parts and feeling embarrassed of people calling her Rab-Bot instead of Rab-Bow, according to Archie's Sonic the Hedgehog issue number 281. She is also the wife of Antoine Diglett. Next, we have Antoine Diglett. Antoine is as well another team member of the Freedom Fighters who speaks in a French accent and commonly speaks French de temps en temps. Get it? He is a swordsman and sometimes gets very frightened at something that could be potentially dangerous or is not really up to his bravery. He is the husband of Bunny Diglett. Despite his frantics, he still fights very well as he has been training with his father for many years to become a good defender and to protect his friends, especially his wife, at any cost. Right here we have Nicole the HoloLink. Nicole is an artificial intelligent computer system designed and created by Dr. Elodie. She was named by King Acorn, who named her after the long-past queen of Verlaine. Originally, she was a handheld device and was voice-activated unless you insert a ring on the device and she will come out in her true form. She navigates through information of what the Freedom Fighters need in order to help visualize and understand the process of the mission or during the progression of the mission, or even help out with common knowledge. Next up, we have Dulcie the Dragon. Dulcie has been part of the Freedom Fighters for a while. She really isn't much of a major role in the team, but I'll still count her in as a freedom fighter. She sometimes can be a klutz when she flies around in the forest and when she tries to land. In the Archie series, she helps out Sonic and the Freedom Fighters by giving information about the Gaia temples, hinting that one is located here in Shannon. She was a nice addition to the team, despite her clumsiness at times. Now here we have Loop and the Wolfpack. Loop is an ally of the Freedom Fighters, considering she has her own army, attentively known as the Wolfpack. During the battle at Knothoe Village, Loop was seriously injured and was initially defenseless on fighting back against Eggman's attack. She was also mourning over the loss of her father during this invasion. Sally gave her a lesson on what it is to become a fighter and defending for all the people you love and care about. Loop took that courage and dedication to herself to train and become a fighter to fight back against Dr. Eggman's plans and do it for her dead father.
Rocket!
Now here we have another group, the Hooligans. First up in this group, we have Knack the Weasel. Knack the Weasel, also known as Fang the Sniper, is the leader of his group called the Hooligans. With his group, they work together for Eggman to steal the Chaos Emeralds and will get paid depending on Eggman's demand for finding them. Now here we have Bark the Polar Bear. Bark is a member of the Hooligans. He is very silent at all times and is a fighter. However, in Sonic Universe issue number 64, Bark sighed, which reportedly means that he can actually talk, but this significant case was never revealed to be true. Now lastly, we have Bean the Dynamite Duck. Bean is a loudmouth member of the Hooligans. He is mostly known for his dim-witted behavior and personality and loves to throw bombs at will. He can also be an irritant to Knack due to his hyperactiveness and his unappreciating assistance.
It's time!
And now, moving on to the Archie Comics characters. First up in this roster, we have Relic the Pika. Relic is a Sonic character that exists in the Archie Sonic comic series and within the post-Super Genesis wave. She is a friend to Knuckles the Echidna and has a robot assistant named Fix-It. She came to Angel Island when the island fell down and decided to travel there via boat. There she met Knuckles, who decided to let her stay on Angel Island, and has also discovered a robot which eventually became her assistant, like I just explained earlier. She also has a bad taste in computers, as she usually has a hard time understanding them, despite her being an archaeologist. Next, we have Fix-It the Helper. Just like we explained in Relic's bio, Fix-It is a robot helper to Relic, which she found him around an Angel Island and was determined to know about his ancient history. He is an inhabitant of Angel Island and a friend to Knuckles as well. Now, going deep underwater, we have Razor the Shark. Razor the Shark is a character that exists in the underwater seas in Sonic's world. He can be very intimidating at times and owns a channel named Crusher. He can fight against any threats that try to harm his friends, especially Coral. He is a self-proclaimed protector of the Yubed Shrine and a warrior. Next up, we have Coral the Beta. Coral is a priestess of the Yubed Shrine and is very skilled with the Mystic Melody. When she plays the Mystic Melody, she requires concentration or else the power it sustains will falter. She was a replacement of Princess Undina as a priestess of the Yubed Shrine and took Pearly as her apprentice and trained her in her rites. And now here we have Pearly the Manta Ray. Pearly is the apprentice of Coral and a student. She has a childlike personality and actually has a phobia to Chow because of how she envisions them as creepy and unsettling. Next up, we have Princess Undina. Princess Undina was a former priestess of the Ubez Shrine and was replaced by Coral. She made her decision to have Coral to be the priestess to the shrine because she deserves it and wanted to show nothing but kindness in her heart. She wanted to explore around the world instead of just studying in Spagonia. At one point, she was kidnapped by the pirates of the Setting Dawn and was eventually rescued by the Chaotix. Now finally, coming from the underwater seas, we have Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin is a Sonic character existing in the Archie series and set primarily in the post-Super Genesis wave. She is a lieutenant in the Meropis City Guard, which is a group of elite defense force charged with protecting the underwater city of Meropis. One time, Echo asked the Chaotix for help to find out the missing case of Princess Undina. And now, as we emerge from the underwater seas and into outer space, right here we have Black Death. Black Death is one of the antagonists in the Sonic Universe comic book series and the leader of the Black Arm over Black Doom's death and was created by the latter. He helped out Mind Control Shadow because of Eclipse almost completely failing to do so. Shadow eventually got through the Mind Control and defeated Black Death using Chaos Blast, which killed Black Death in the process. Next up, we have Eclipse the Darkling. Eclipse is another one of the antagonists in the Sonic Universe comic book series and formerly the assistant to Black Death before Shadow defeated him. He refused to leave the Black Comet, but the Death's Eye listened to Black Death's command and forced Eclipse to the ship and leave the Black Comet. Eclipse later crash landed on Angel Island and raised 4 Dark Arms to become his powerful army. Once Eclipse was able to overpower Rouge and the others and grab the Master Emerald, Shadow and Knuckles confronted him before he got to the ship. As soon as Knuckles shattered the Master Emerald, Eclipse took the ship and retreated. Now heading back down to Earth, we have Mammoth Mogul. Mogul is an antagonist in the Archie Comics series and dislikes all the heroes and has sworn to Sonic that while he is willing to wait out on Sonic's lifetime, neither he or his children, or even his children's children, will ever find peace and prosperity because he is always prepared to bring trouble to their lives. Sonic finds him one of the pettiest villains he's ever known. Next up in our roster, we have Eggman. Eggman is a Sonic character existing in the pre-Super Genesis wave. He owns a library containing history of the Freedom Fighters and Mobius in chronological order. Despite being over 100 years old, he can still come to Silver's aid with his Chaos powers. Next up, Mina Mongoose. Mina Mongoose is a Sonic character existing in the pre-Super Genesis wave. She was captured by Eggman to become roboticized until Sonic came for the rescue and is one of the 3 girls to show affection to Sonic the Hedgehog after Sally and Amy. She is also known as one of Mobius' biggest celebrities for her highly successful singing career. Now this here is Monkey Can. Monkey Can is a Sonic character existing in the pre-Super Genesis wave and was the former love interest of Sally. Monkey Can was once taken control by the Iron Queen and named him Iron Can when she took out the Power Ring crown from his head and used him as a weapon to defeat the Freedom Fighters. Sonic was able to free Monkey Can's mind control by retrieving a Power Ring from the Lake of Rings and putting it on his head. Later, he thought that he lost his temper as he enraged throughout Knothole Village and nearly killing his friends in the process. The kids were able to convince him that they will help each other out, and the others saying that we all make mistakes and miss our chances, but will never lose their sight. Next up, we have Scourge the Hedgehog. Scourge is a Sonic character that exists in the Archie Comics series and acts as one of those Sonic lookalike counterparts and Sonic's rival. He has an evil type of personality and shares a passion similar to Eggman's, which is defeating Sonic once and for all. Next up, we have Fiona the Fox. Fiona is a Sonic character in the Archie Comics series and Scourge's love interest. She pretends to be kind and honest to Tails as Tails tries to convince her to be with him and not with Scourge because of him being cruel and presumptuous. In that case, Fiona does not take his word for it and rejects his appeals despite all his desperate attempts to win her over Scourge. Now here we have Jeffrey St. John. Jeffrey is a Sonic character in the Archie Comics series and basically has a love interest to Sally Acorn, much to Sonic's dismay and his jealousy over her. He has skills much akin to Ice's Naugus. Speaking of Naugus, he is affiliated to him and acts as his apprentice. Now here we have Phage. Phage is one of the antagonists in the Archie Comics series who acts like a virus in Nicole's computer system. It harms and tries to wash out the digital world with Nicole in it. Nicole had the red starter ring inserted from the handheld device to form overclocked Nicole and managed to destroy Phage from having the system depleted. Now for the next three characters I'm about to explain, they form a group together called the Desert Raiders. First up, we have Spike the Porcupine. Spike is a Sonic character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave. He is the leader of the freedom fighter group named the Desert Raiders. He is teamed up with Trevor and Sonar and is an associate of Egg Boss and Nephis the Vulture to keep the Modesta Egg Army at bay in reality. Second, we have Trevor Burrow the Mole. Trevor is a Sonic character that is a team member of the freedom fighter group the Desert Raiders. He is also an associate of Egg Boss and Nephis the Vulture to keep the Modesta Egg Army at bay in reality. Now lastly from this group, Sonar the Fennec. Sonar is a Sonic character and another team member of the freedom fighter group the Desert Raiders. Again, another associate of Egg Boss and Nephis the Vulture to keep the Modesta Egg Army at bay in reality. Coming up next, we have Saffron Bee. Saffron Bee is a Sonic character existing primarily in the pre-Super Genesis wave. She is one of Charmy Bee's earliest friends and formerly his fiancée when he fled from his family in order to avoid his royal responsibilities. Her personality is somewhat similar to Cream the Rabbit, as she can be timid but brave and supportive. At one point in Sonic the Hedgehog issue 177, Saffron brought Charmy to Dr. Quack to help Charmy jog his memory back. Saffron was worried that he might not be himself again until she was relieved that Charmy was able to recalibrate himself back to normal and still remembers her name. Next up, Gold the Tenrec. Gold is a Sonic character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave in the Archie series. Set in an alternate reality, speaking about 200 years in the future, when the second Devourer invaded Onyx City, she had no idea where to run and saw a portal which led to the Onyx City Council and eventually became a member of the council. She later became an ally to Silver the Hedgehog and Professor Von Schlemmer. Next up, Julie Sue the Echidna. Julie Sue is a Sonic character existing primarily in the pre-Super Genesis wave. She was a former support troop in the Dark Legion. Having been working there for so many years, she eventually left and decided to join in with Knuckles and the Chaotix. She has been working with Knuckles and the Chaotix ever since. And finally, Lersu the Echidna. Lersu is a Sonic character existing in the pre-Super Genesis wave. She is Knuckles and Julie Sue's daughter from the future timeline known as Light Mobius. She is the leader of the Dark Freedom Fighters in an alternate timeline when she and the other members of the group rescued Silver from an ambush of enemies, resembling characters from another timeline and energized control through his power of their energy cores.
Chaos Control!
Now that we have gone through the Archie Comics characters, let's now go through the characters in the Sonic Boom universe. First up on this roster, we have Styx the Badger. Styx is a Sonic character that exists in the Sonic Boom universe. She lived on the island long before she met Sonic and the gang. She relies mostly on survival tactics and skills, as well as using a boomerang as a weapon to destroy Eggman's Batmix, but other times she can be a bit crazy over things. Next, we have Percy the Bandicoot. Percy is a Sonic Boom character that is a twin sister to Stacy. Both her and Stacy have similar looks, but if you pay attention to the voices and personality very well, you will be able to tell the difference. Up next, Zoe the Fox. Zoe is a character within the Sonic Boom universe and Tails' love interest. Tails tries his best to win Zoe by taking lessons from Sonic and the gang, which eventually leads up to failure. Eggman then persuaded Tails to help catch the girl he likes by saving her from his giant Batnik. When Tails rescued Zoe, Zoe proceeded to kiss Tails on the cheek, which made Eggman very surprised. And finally, within this roster of the Sonic Boom universe, Comedy Chimp. Comedy Chimp is a secondary character within the Sonic Boom universe and a host for his own TV show called Comedy Chimp Show on the Islands Network. Nothing else too much to know about this character, so moving on.
Let's go!
And now, let's head on to the IDW Comic Characters. First up, we have Tangle the Lemur. Tangle is a Sonic character in the IDW series and is a hyperactive and enthusiastic lemur. She is friends with Sonic and others and always finds adventures very exciting and interesting. She mostly swings around town with her tail and sometimes doesn't even look where she's going before she hits something. Up next, we have Whisper the Wolf. Whisper is another Sonic character in the IDW series and was one of the members of the Resistance. The way she talks is always whispering, hence her name, and the way she yells or shouts, she talks in her normal voice. She is a friend to Tangle and went on a mission together according to the spin-off of the IDW Comics series, Tangle and Whisper. Next up, Jewel. Jewel is a Sonic character in the IDW series and is a good and loyal friend to Tangle. She is a curator to the Mineral Museum, reserved and very cautious, and fears much violence in which she highly dislikes. Finally, we have Mimic. Mimic is one of the antagonists in the IDW series. You can shapeshift into anybody and trick other people into thinking it's the real person. He uses this kind of power as an advantage and is an enemy to Whisper the Wolf. He was a former member of the Diamond Cutters and now works for Dr. Eggman.
Time for the big finale!
Supersonic style! Huh?
And now, the rest of the characters that I'm going to be explaining will be miscellaneous. First up, we have Mighty the Armadillo. Mighty is a Sonic character existing in the Sonic universe. He has a passion for traveling, and although he very much dislikes violence and roughness, he is capable of fighting against troubles that arise in him. Next, we have Ray the Flying Squirrel. Ray is a Sonic character existing in the Sonic universe. Nothing is much known about Ray's personality, with some exceptions that he is slightly more timid than Sonic or Mighty and acts as a semi-comic relief character in his trio. Both he and Mighty appear in SEGA Sonic the Hedgehog and more recently appeared in Sonic Mania Plus, an upgraded version of the game. Now right here we have Tikal the Echidna. Tikal is a Sonic character existing in the Sonic universe and the sole protector of Chaos, where she sealed him in the Master Emerald and her soul and willing to live in peace with it. She was a former member of the Knuckles clan and is very fond of various chow, which she finds adorable and cute. Next up in the roster, we have Cosmo the Cedrian. Cosmo is a Sonic X character and is friends with Sonic and the gang, especially when she has a close relationship with Tails. She and Tails show a strong bond between each other, even when Tails protects her in his defense from Shadow in episode 73. She then sacrificed herself to erase the Metarex from existence for good. Now here we have Vanilla the Rabbit. Vanilla is a Sonic character and is Cream's mother. She taught Cream nice and polite manners and how to be courteous to others, but she can be strict with discipline. Now here we have Honey the Cat. Honey the Cat is a Sonic character that appeared in the 2012 re-release of Sonic the Fighters game. She competed in a fighting tournament for the Chaos Emeralds and the right to destroy the Death Egg too. In the comics, she exists in the post-Super Genesis wave and participated in the Chaos Emerald Championship in Casino Park. She would compete for the most part against Sonic. Despite her loss, she enjoyed the experience with battling Sonic in the tournament. Now next up we have some villains here. First up we have Dr. Eggman Nega. Dr. Eggman Nega is a Sonic character existing in Blaze's dimension and a doppelganger to the original Dr. Eggman in Sonic's world. Eggman and Eggman Nega together created Egg Salamander and captured the Soul Emeralds for them to drain all their energy away and become useless to Blaze. However, their plans backfired as Blaze was able to regain the Soul Emerald's power and teamed up with Sonic to defeat both Eggmans once and for all. The next villain we have here, we have Mephiles the Dark. Mephiles is an antagonist in the Sonic 06 game. He was born during the Solaris project when the experiments on Solaris split him into Mephiles and Iblis. He orchestrated a long-time plan to release Iblis from Princess Elise, in which he killed Sonic with success. Elise was able to revive him and turn into Supersonic, period. Shadow and Silver joined in and defeated Iblis, a re-merger with Mephiles, which attempted to recreate Solaris, erasing the existence of both Iblis and Mephiles. Next up, we have Lord IX. IX is an antagonist in the video game Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood. He is an Echidna and the leader of the Nocturnus clan. He orchestrated the death of all 7 Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald in a scheme to have the Nocturnus clan break out from the Twilight Cage and conquer Sonic's world. Now moving away from the villains, right here we have Shade the Echidna. Shade is a Sonic character in the video game Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood. Originally working as a leader of the Marauder forces, she eventually turned over to Knuckles, Sonic, and many others to help defeat Lord IX once and for all. Now on with this cute little guy, we have Chip. Chip is a Sonic character in the video game Sonic Unleashed, as well as being part of the Shadow World Crisis saga in the Archie Comics series. Chip started out with no name and has amnesia. Sonic helps him out by asking people if they know him, which the idea became a disappointment. As Sonic and Chip were having a chocolate chip sundae supreme, Sonic decided to give the name Chip, and Chip loves the name. During the visit of the 6th Temple of Gaia, Chip went out to touch the ancient wall, which transported him to a room of space with a white spark of light. As he was touched with it, he started to remember everything, including the reveal of his real name, which is Light Gaia. He kept Dark Gaia sealed in the planet's core for millions of years before awakening. Next up, we have another villain in our hands. Right here we have Conquering Storm. Conquering Storm is a Sonic Comics character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave. She works as a recruit for Dr. Eggman and acts as an egg boss of the Egg Clan army. She has a similar passion to what Dr. Eggman wants to achieve, destroying Sonic and the Freedom Fighters once and for all. The next villain we have is Clove. Clove is a Sonic Comics character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave. She is the sister to Cassia and is the regional egg boss of the Northamer Egg Army Division. Next up we have Cassia. Cassia is a Sonic Comics character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave and the sister to Clove. She has been subjected to cyberization to get a treatment for a fatal illness. Just like her sister, she is a regional egg boss of the Northamer Egg Army Division. However, she does not have the same level of authority as Clove does. Next up, we have Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a Sonic Comics character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave and an ally of Dr. Eggman. She is a hyperactive chinchilla and the egg boss of the Submersa Egg Army Division of the Egg Army stationed on Sonic's world. Now here we have Professor Pickle. Pickle is a Sonic character in the Sonic Unleashed video game. He assisted Sonic and the others about how they can restore not only the planet's crust, but the Chaos Emerald's power through the Gaia temples. Next, we have Professor Von Schlemmer. Professor Von Schlemmer is a Sonic character existing in both the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog series and the comics. He is a brilliant but eccentric and kooky scientist and an invaluable ally to Sonic and Tails. In the comics, he exists around 200 years in the future, a member of the Science Center who has been researching on the Genesis portals and an ally to both Silver and Gold. He told Silver that he can use his psychokinetic powers to close the Genesis portals. Coming up next, Sir Charles. Sir Charles is a Sonic character existing in the Sonic universe. He is Sonic's uncle, hence the name that Sonic calls him Uncle Chuck. In the SATAM series, he is roboticized and works for Robotnik. When the Freedom Fighters were able to jog his memory by using a power ring, he was still roboticized, but his personality was changed back to his old ways. He helped for some time until Sonic and the gang were fleeing from Robotropolis and Sonic realizing that Uncle Chuck cannot come with. He gave up the power ring and has turned back into his original coding of roboticization. Sally and the rest promise that they will bring him back someday. Next up, we have Ben Mutsky. Ben Mutsky is a Sonic character existing in both the SATAM series and the comic series. In the SATAM series, he is a dog that originally belonged to Sonic, and they both met at one point. Sonic convinces Mutsky to behave and to not fight, which somehow made him more friendly. As Sonic was explaining Tails how to change him back, Mutsky started to revert back into his normal coding and fought back. In the comics, he exists in the post-Super Genesis wave and is the apprentice of Charles the Hedgehog. Now here we have another villain, Coconuts. Coconuts is a Sonic character existing in the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog TV series. Next to Scratch and Grounder, he is one of the primary members to Robotnik's henchmen, but serves as a janitor due to a demotion, much to his dismay. He is a grumpy, cynical, hyperactive, and obsessive over proving himself that he can be better than Scratch or Grounder. Next here we have Breezy the Hedgehog. Breezy is a Sonic character existing in both Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and the comic series. In the TV series, she is a robot designed to resemble an animal and the former love interest to Sonic, much to Tails' discomposure. In the comics, she exists in the post-Super Genesis wave and acts as a host to the Chaos Emerald Championship. She founded Breezy Media when she had severe ties with Dr. Eggman. Now here are some of the classic characters. Right here we have Sonia the Hedgehog. Sonia is a Sonic character existing in Sonic Underground. She is a sister to Sonic. She is intelligent and takes situations very seriously. Her weapon is a laser shooter within her piano. Next up, Manic the Hedgehog. Manic is a Sonic character existing in Sonic Underground. He is Sonic's brother and likely does try to steal some treasury when they're on missions. His weapon is a drum set that fires out laser beams when he hits the drums with his drumsticks. Next up, Queen Alina. Queen Alina is a Sonic character existing in Sonic Underground and is the mother of Sonic, Manic, and Sonia. She abandoned them when they were babies because of the harrowing invasion of Dr. Robotnik and his army taking over the city. She would eventually meet them again as of her promising that they will reunite with their mother in the future once the time is right, but due to the cancellation of the TV show, this event never happened. Next up, we have another villain, Walter Naugus. Walter Naugus is an antagonist in the Sonic comic universe existing in the post-Super Genesis wave. When he wanted to become the ruler of the Kingdom of Acorn and serve as a royal wizard, he was banished to the Special Zone and remained trapped before being rescued. He then became an immediate enemy to Sonic the Hedgehog, who has regularly thwarted his plan to invade the Kingdom of Acorn. Now here we have a special wisp, Yacker. Yacker is a wisp in the video game Sonic Colors. The way it communicates is pretty hard to understand. Tails was able to decipher the language using Miles' Electric to better understand what he is actually saying. In the DS version of Sonic Colors, it is revealed that Yacker has a mother named the Mother Wisp. At first, she was affected by Eggman himself and transformed her into Nega Mother Wisp. Sonic used the 7 Chaos Emeralds to transform into Super Sonic and destroy Nega Mother Wisp in order to save the Mother Wisp and turn back to normal. The process was deemed successful and the Mother Wisp was able to return back to Planet Wisp where she can protect all of her children and bring the planets back to where they originally belonged. Now here we have the final villain in the roster, Bo-Kun. Bo-Kun is a Sonic X character and works for Dr. Eggman. He sends out messages of Dr. Eggman through television he keeps in his bag. Once the transmission ends, the television usually tends to explode right after. When failures come to Bo-Kun, he will cry out in tears knowing that he had failed a task or when Eggman treats him unfairly. At one point, Bo-Kun enters into the Thorndike residence to break out a message when nobody was home except for Ella. He cries out in tears, claiming that he doesn't like to be lonely. However, it is revealed that he fooled Ella and laughs his way out of here. One more surprising fact about him is that he enjoys complimentary sweet foods that Ella makes for him, such as apple pie. And finally, last but not least, Moss the Sloth. Moss the Sloth is a Sonic Comics character existing in the post-Super Genesis wave. He is a mentor to Mighty and can move swiftly, much akin to Sonic's speed through his jungle home, despite the sloths in our real world, in which they move very slow. Well everybody, that's that. Do you think I missed something? Leave it in the comments below and share your opinions about what you heard from the character's bio, and tell me what characters did you hear for the very first time. As I said in the beginning, I'm a huge Sonic fan and have been working on this ambitious project for so long. Sonic will always be my legacy for life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also turn on that bell icon to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. And by the way, big special thanks to Sonic News Network for helping me out with the character's description. If you guys want to check out Sonic News Network, the link is in the description down below if you want to check it out. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.